So here is the object as I was able to kind of construct it. All right, and you can see that if I got to get in close enough to where I can see this thing, that it maintains the angle of declination no matter where I put the globe. All right, the function that I used to place that thing out there, okay, was this tool right here. It's called Orient. All right, and it allows you to take a source geometry, right, and place it at a target orientation. All right, so that's the tool that I use. Now, I did one other thing as a just in case, and I'm not 100% positive that I had to do this, but I did. What I did is I dropped a curve param in, and I fed the lines of I fed the lines of longitude and the lines of latitude into it so that it creates essentially a copy, an instance, another instance of what's been derived in with the definition. Okay, so this is my polar array, and you can see that that's feeding over into the curve, right? You can see that the other thing that's feeding into the curve are the circles, which create the series of lines of longitude or latitude. Okay. There's a third thing. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, what I did is instead of having the north and south pole be part of this earlier definition, I added it into the definition of the lines of longitude and latitude. Okay, so those three things are fed into a param. All right, so remember the params are up here, and I just used a curve param, and I fed all three of those things into it. So that creates an instance that essentially unifies it, right? It separates it from the world coordinate system. And then that in turn is fed into the orient command. And I won't show you which target to feed from. I'm going to let you guys figure that out. Okay? So let's go ahead and give that a try using that component, orient. Okay, so I think there may be some misunderstandings about what it was that I kind of mentioned to you guys you could try. So I'm going to kind of pull this thing down here. Okay, I'm going to full screen this right now, so I can hopefully zoom in and see some of the stuff. So this, if you guys can stop working, please turn your monitors off and look up here for just a moment. Okay, please turn your monitors off, look up here. Okay, so this is the definition, right, that contains the lines that create the lines of longitude and latitude. So you all have that one and it's functioning, right? Yes? Do you have that? Okay. So that's one of the definitions that you guys are going to be using. In addition to that, there is the Earth sphere that you guys worked on the first week of class, which had the adjustable location for the sun, right? The size of the sun. That's this one. Look up here. So you guys are still looking down. Just let me try and get this out of there. So you're taking these two and you're putting them into one definition. Okay? So what your goal is to get the lines of longitude and latitude fed into a curve parameter, which unitizes them, and then that feeds into an orient geometry. Okay? So this is already done. You don't have to do anything else to this except make sure that the lines, before there was a curve here, that's what it looked like. And it created the lines of longitude and latitude. So all that I did is I added a curve param and I fed the circles that create the lines of longitude. I fed the polar array that created the lines of, I'm sorry, the first one was the lines of latitude. Then I took the polar array that fed in the lines of longitude. And you don't have to do this. I did. I added a line that is bigger than the globe. Again, you don't have to do that. I just made it part of this definition. Okay? That way it has a north and south pole. We already did that once in a different place. Okay? So all you've got to do is take this information right here, unitize it into one curve, param, and then feed that into orient geometry. All that's left to do after that is to figure out where do we want to orient it to in this definition. Now, before you go too far, remember that this definition, we have approached it several different ways. So you might need to first go in and remove the unnecessary things from it. Because remember, we brought in the line work that we did, right? We first drew the Earth lines of longitude and latitude by hand and then brought them in as a collection of curves. So you might need to remove that stuff from it. So if you guys would please, right now, just open the original Earth sphere so I can come around and take a look at it. I'll kind of give you guys an idea of what portions you might need to remove from yours. Okay?